Alphinaud is resisting the urge to pat himself on the back. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet the requirements once they arrive. In the meantime, is there all else we might do to be of service? Ha! You've already done more than enough. If I had to say, though, I could use someone who knows a thing or two about elegant technology. I have a catboy for you. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more than your average scholar. Ha! If only Master Kokol knew how right he was. While he and Grau have established a rapport, why don't we help with preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement, but I propose this is not to curry favor. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would be also an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traveling to Great Expanse, and if nothing else, it'd be twiddling our thumbs while they wait for the adamantite. And well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you have a mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Sharlayan Hamlet is lousy with researchers and scholarly types busying themselves preparing for the Exodus. Pah! That lot need all the help they can get. How convenient! I just have seen to that place.
In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Hello, I haven't. Oh, wait, are you outside the. Oh. Why can't all y'all just use aetherites like Heidelin intended? From what I can tell, a lot of the people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholark Monchene mentioned. Start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. Silken grin. Is that a euphemism? Hello. Are you one of the new helpers? In a way. Working on the Aetherburner. Oh dear, here things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I'd choose that over my current duties, checking and loading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be crossed if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The form's got enough on their plate as it is, but with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when, a lot of powerful people have opinions about that. Our heart goes out to Master Foshino and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Did they even have time to sleep? Ah, don't worry. As I have no doubt learned in my experiences, sleep is optional. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I'm not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous looming giants. Well, I much prefer something small and fluffy like that they had in Rapid that we buy. Oh, lady, do I have news for you! Oh no, where did Pudding Wayne go? It would appear the Loppers have infiltrated Charlie's most heavily guarded facility. How? I know not. We came into the front door! Fancy meeting you here, Autumn. Our friends at the forum brought us to see the teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is the theories itself, though now we found ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping that we gave us some guided tour, but it appears we're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare, it's still not ready. Let's also just have to show ourselves around. Or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Oriage and your earnest out. Since you're both dawdling about engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you would show us a few points of interest. Wouldn't that be fun? Do I look like I know how to be down here? He doesn't even know how... I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. They have thought are better suited to lead this venture. What a marvelous idea! Might we begin with that great big what's-it over yonder? Ah yes, the what's-it. I shall leave the explanation to Autumn. You bastard! I'll remember this! Also, I kind of find it amusing that we've resorted to just calling everything that we don't know a what's-it now. Even us. Singing was just living their life, man. Look at them go. Oh, they're all singing! Goodness me, to feel something so large about creation magics is positively stupendous! Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features. Ah yes, the what's-it. Behold, the tanks. It's a little hard to see from here, but is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Behold, the metallic tube. Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? It must be because of those cogs in that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Mushroom thing. That looks like the trees in Greatest Endsvale. Hold on, that's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from the underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and is stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it! A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install even in the harshest of environments, for sloppers, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that people of Etheria sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Well, power and hubris. Areas near waterfalls are common sites for villages in Garabania. So, wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear. I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. You can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order once we calculate the average rate of consumption for an individual. It also may be worth learning more about how exactly they obtained their water in the first place. Master Alphinaud spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Law Prince will share his appreciation for their engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary, Sharlayan Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You and me will have to brave the untamed wilderness? I mean, it's mildly tamed. A valid concern indeed. We cannot help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. Were we not escorted by burly custodians that would dare to think what would come of us? Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, Loprets may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Oh good, you trust the trader to me. Alright. Why are we going back up? I want to explore more of the down! A change of what's it? Yeah, sure. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumables you may seek may be found at Mariel Agronomics. As I imagine Singing Way and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, that would be so kind as to escort our visiting culinary group. Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Orion was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention Ethereus will soon be no more. So I must learn all I can while there's still time. So there's these grapes, right? That's the spice, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some. I've read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask who's ever in charge if they're willing to part with a few samples. You may really wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin? Grapes! Oh, we actually are starting with the grapes. Listen, these grapes are to die for. Like, literally go into a volcano and fight it to die for. Oh, yeah, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they're as deliciously. Look. I don't know about the look part, though. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Oh, that certainly gave me food for thought. though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? Yes, they're rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first? The fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's... equal parts sweet and sour, as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Oriangé about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know, so many flavors, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned up your noses at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous as they are still, in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. Ah, but speaking of carrots, I've yet to say about any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in that field over there. That color and texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots? No. In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than taste. Who does want to eat a pumpkin? Ugh! It's so hard and flavorless, I might as well be chewing a piece of wood. That all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop! Can't you see these are pumpkins? No if any sense would try to eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. You do not find enough of bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. And perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder though, is there anything even more delicious? How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Okay, if it's a banana, I agree with you. If it's a lemon, I'm going to enjoy this. Those are definitely not either the lemons or apples. I don't remember if lemons have trees. I'll just bite into it. Uh-oh. They're lemons. My tongue! Is this poison? A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? I was right about the second comment. How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? Ugh. Maybe some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I'd best call it an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. Alright, thank you for the dinner and the show. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges, less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon. The deceiver! I still feel so violated. First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll give you this lemon muppet I banked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spur this opportunity to it came up there, learn about more of your inscrutable ways. Farewell, lemon muffin, do your worst! Gooey. This is delicious! Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, you rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a strong role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at your disposal, and sometimes it can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonized over what was worth preserving and what would consign to history. Hard choices, but we make them we must, if we're to survive. Such strength of will. Now I know what Hyland sees in your kind. Mankind? The Loperates. We were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. 'Tis the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilization since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Ah, you adapted that quick. Pardon my yours, but what the seven hells are you on about? And who are you, anyways? Cooking way, at your service. I'm here to prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there will be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Aetherius' species as possible if you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course. I look forward to it. Well, this has been highly productive. Probably. Let's go and see if Ranger and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? And actually, I was wondering, do you know any other places famed for their cuisine? The Far East has oodles of noodles. I want to say that. That rolls off the tongue. Would that I had time to visit. The more I learned of Aetherius, the more I wish you could spare for the final days. Alas, Heidenland's orders are to flee, not resist. If only there was some other way. Oh, not if we don't try.